grass of the Supreme Kai's world was usually green and soft. It was the most beautiful grass in the universe. But now it was black. It was burning with a cold purple fire. The fire did not give off heat. It gave off cold. It made the air feel like the inside of a freezer. Shin crawled across the dead grass. His blue skin was cut and bruised. His clothes were torn. He was the Supreme Kai. He was a god of creation. But right now, he felt very small and very weak. He coughed. Purple smoke came out of his mouth. He looked up. Standing over him was a monster. The monster looked exactly like Son Goku. But it was wrong. The hair was not black. It was a dark grey. The eyes were not white and warm. They were red and empty. There was no soul in those eyes. The Void Goku smiled. It was a cruel smile. It raised his hand. A ball of black energy formed in the palm. It crackled with black lightning. Shin tried to stand up. He tried to use his magic, but he was too weak. The void energy in the air was suppressing his power. He looked toward the large tree in the distance. That was where the old Kai was. That was where Lord Beerus was sleeping. If Shin died right here, then Lord Beerus would die too. They were connected. Their lives were linked. That was the rule of the gods. Kamba knew this rule. That is why he sent his assassin here. The Void Goku did not speak. It did not need words. It just wanted death. The black energy ball grew larger. It made a high sound like a screaming bird. Shin closed his eyes. He thought about his friends. He thought about the universe he had failed to protect. He whispered, "I am sorry, Lord Beerus. I am sorry, Gohan." The Void Goku threw the blast. The black ball flew down toward Shin. It moved fast. It was going to erase him from existence, but it did not hit him. Just before the black ball touched Shin's face, there was a noise. Pop. It was the sound of air moving very quickly. A figure appeared in front of Shin. It was instant transmission. The figure was wearing an orange gi with a blue shirt underneath. The figure had black spiky hair. It was the real Goku. Goku did not have time to block. He did not have time to dodge. He just yelled. He flared his aura. A burst of blue god energy exploded from his body. The blue energy hit the black energy. The two energies crashed together. A massive explosion shook the sacred world of the Kais. The ground cracked. The black grass was blown away. Shin was thrown backward. He rolled on the ground. He stopped near a rock. He looked up. The smoke was clearing. Goku was standing there. He was in his Super Saiyan blue form. His blue hair was glowing. His blue eyes were angry. He was glaring at the Void Goku. Goku said, "I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you look like me, but you made a big mistake. You tried to hurt my friend." The Void Goku tilted its head. It looked confused for a second. Then it smiled that same creepy smile. It opened its mouth. Its voice sounded like Goku's voice, but played backward. It said friend, weakness, death. Goku clenched his fists. He said, "We will see about that." Goku charged. He flew forward so fast he turned into a blue blur. He punched the Void Goku in the face. It was a solid hit. The Void Goku's head snapped back, but it did not fly away. It just stood there. It slowly turned its head back to look at Goku. There was no mark on its face. It was like hitting a shadow. Goku was surprised. He thought that punch should have hurt him. The Void Goku punched back. Its fist was covered in purple flames. Goku crossed his arms to block. The punch hit Goku's arms. Bam! The force was incredible. It was heavier than a normal punch. It felt like a mountain crashing into him. Goku was knocked backwards. His feet dug into the ground. He left 2 long trenches in the dirt as he slid back. He shook his arms. They were numb. He thought, wow, this guy is strong. He hits harder than the real me. The Void Goku did not wait. It flew at Goku. It started punching. Left, right, left, right. Goku dodged. He weaved. He blocked. He was fighting for his life. Every time the Void Goku punched, the air cracked. The shock waves were destroying the planet. The beautiful mountains in the distance were crumbling. The rivers were boiling. Shin watched from behind the rock. He was terrified. He had never seen two Gokus fight. It was like watching a mirror break. Just then, there was another sound. Whoosh! A second figure appeared in the sky. It was Vegeta. He had just arrived from Namek. He looked down at the battle. He saw the two Gokus. He saw the purple fire. He saw Shin hiding. Vegeta frowned. He said, "What is this nonsense? Why is Kakarot fighting himself?" Vegeta flew down. He landed next to Shin. He looked at the injuries on the Supreme Kai. He said, "Are you alive, Kai?" Shin nodded weakly. He said, "Yes, Vegeta. Please, you have to help him. That thing, it is a void clone. It is made of Kumba's energy. It wants to kill me to kill Lord Beerus." Vegeta looked at the fake Goku. His eyes narrowed. He said, "A fake Kakarot? That is the most annoying thing I have ever heard. One Kakarot is bad enough." Vegeta powered up. His hair turned dark blue. His muscles grew larger. He entered his royal blue form. He shouted, "Hey, fake Kakarot, look over here." The Void Goku stopped punching Goku. It looked at Vegeta. Vegeta smirked. He said, "You are ugly. You have no style. Let me fix your face." Vegeta flew forward. He did not hold back. He kicked the Void Goku in the stomach. The Void Goku bent over. Vegeta clasped his hands together. He slammed them down on the Void Goku's back. Wham! The Void Goku slammed into the ground. A crater formed. But before Vegeta could celebrate, the Void Goku dissolved. It turned into black smoke. Vegeta landed. He looked around. He said, "Where did he go? Did he run away?" Goku floated down. He said to be careful, Vegeta. "I can't sense his energy. It's like he isn't even there." Suddenly, the ground erupted. A giant hand made of black energy shot up from the dirt. It grabbed Vegeta. It squeezed him. Vegeta shouted, "Ga, let go of me." He tried to burn the hand with his Kai, but the hand absorbed his energy. The black smoke reformed. The Void Goku appeared behind Vegeta. It placed its hand on Vegeta's head. It was going to blast him. Goku shouted, "Vegeta, move." Goku fired a ki blast. The blast hit the Void Goku. It distracted him. Vegeta broke free from the giant hand. He jumped away. He was breathing hard. He said, "This thing is annoying. It keeps changing shape. It eats energy." Goku said, "Yeah, it's like Humba, but faster. And it fights like me. It knows all my moves." Suddenly the sky ripped open. A third figure arrived. It was Gohan. He stepped out of the warp tunnel. He was still in his base form. His ki was torn from the fight on Earth. He looked tired, but his eyes were sharp. He looked down and saw the chaos. He saw the burning world. He saw his father and Vegeta fighting the dark copy. Gohan flew down instantly. He landed between the Saiyans and the monster. He looked at the Void Goku. He sensed the energy. It was cold and empty. It felt like death. Gohan said, "Dad, Vegeta, are you okay?" Goku said, "Hey son, glad you made it. This guy's tough. He is a copy of me." Gohan looked at the copy. The Void Goku looked at Gohan. For the first time, the monster showed an emotion other than hate. It showed fear. It sensed the dragon mark on Gohan's chest. It sensed the golden energy of Zalama. The Void Goku hissed. It stepped back. It knew that Gohan was dangerous. Gohan said, "Get back. I will handle this. This creature is made of void magic. Physical attacks won't work well. You have to use soul pressure." Vegeta said, "Don't tell me what to do, boy. I know how to fight. Gohan ignored him. He walked toward the Void Goku. He did not power up to Beast. He did not turn Super Saiyan. He just walked. He focused on the mark on his chest. He let the golden light leak out. The light touched the dead grass. The grass turned green again. The light touched the air. The cold vanished. The Void Goku screeched. The light hurt it. It was like acid to the monster. The Void Goku fired a Kamehameha. The beam was black and purple. It was massive. It tore up the ground. Gohan did not dodge. He raised one hand. He caught the beam. His hand was glowing gold. The black energy hit his hand and sizzled. It evaporated. Gohan crushed the beam in his palm. He continued to walk. He said, "You are not real. You are a bad memory. You have no place in this world." The Void Goku was panicked. It tried to run. But Gohan was too fast. Gohan appeared in front of it. He placed his palm on the monster's chest. He whispered return to nothing. A pulse of golden light shot through the monster. The Void Goku froze. Cracks of gold light appeared on its skin. It opened its mouth to scream, but only light came out. It shattered. It turned into thousands of gold sparkles that faded away. The fight was over. Silence returned to the Supreme Kai's world. Goku sat down on the ground. He wiped sweat from his face. He said, "Wow, Gohan, that was amazing. You really did learn some cool stuff from that dragon god." Vegeta crossed his arms. He grunted. He said, "Not bad, but don't get cocky. It was just a copy." Gohan did not smile. He turned to Shin. He ran over to the Supreme Kai. He knelt down. He placed his glowing hand on Shin's chest. The healing energy flowed into the Kai. The cuts closed. The bruises faded. Shin sat up. He took a deep breath. He looked at Gohan with tears in his eyes. He said, "Thank you, Gohan. You saved me, and you saved Lord Beerus." Gohan said, "Where is Lord Beerus? Is he okay?" Shin pointed to the tree. He said, "He is sleeping in the roots. He hasn't woken up. I was worried. If I took too much damage, he might have felt it." They all ran to the tree. They entered the cave under the roots. Inside it was dark. There was a floating bed. On the bed lay the purple cat god. Beerus was sleeping. He was snoring. A snot bubble was growing and shrinking from his nose. But something was wrong. Beerus was sweating. He was twitching. He looked like he was having a nightmare. And on his chest there was a faint black mark. It looked like a bruise. Shin gasped. He said, "Oh no, the link. When I was hurt, the damage transferred to him. But because he is asleep, his body couldn't defend itself. The void energy has infected him." Gohan looked closely. He could see the black veins spreading from the bruise. The void infection was trying to take over Beerus's body. If it reached his heart, Beerus would not die. He would turn. He would become a void god. He would be like Kamba. A destroyer god controlled by the void would be the end of everything. Goku said, "Wake him up. We have to wake him up." Goku grabbed Beerus's shoulders. He shook him. He shouted, "Lord Beerus, wake up. It's pizza time." Usually the word pizza would wake Beerus up instantly, but he did not move. He just groaned in pain. The black veins spread further. Vegeta said, "It's not working, Kakarot. He is in a deep coma. His body is shutting down to fight the infection." Gohan placed his hand on Beerus's chest. He tried to use the golden light. He tried to purify the infection, like he did with the crystal seed on Earth. But this was different. The infection was inside a god of destruction. Beerus's own destruction energy was fighting the cure. The purple Hakai energy was clashing with Gohan's golden miracle energy. Sparks flew. Gohan pulled his hand back. He said, "I can't do it. His energy is too strong. It's rejecting my help. If I force it, I might blow him up." Shin panicked. He said, "What do we do?" he doesn't wake up soon, the infection will consume him. We need Whis. Where is Whis? Vegeta said. Whis is in the transport cube. He's bringing Broly and the others back to the palace. He cannot help us right now. We are on our own. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the cave. It was a raspy old voice. It was the old Kai. He walked out from the shadows. He was holding a crystal ball. He looked serious. He said, there is only one way to wake him up. You have to shock his system. You have to make him feel a power that threatens his ego. A destroyer cannot sleep if he feels a rival. Goku scratched his head. He said, a rival? You mean like another god of destruction? Old Kai nodded. He said yes, but we don't have Champa here, and we don't have time to get him. One of you has to do it. One of you has to mimic the presence of a destroyer. Vegeta stepped forward. He said, I will do it. I have the power of destruction. I learned it from Beerus. I will flare my energy to the maximum. It will wake him up. Old Kai shook his head. He said, no. Your destruction energy is strong, Vegeta, but it is still mortal. It feels like an imitation to him. He will just ignore it in his sleep. We need something that feels ancient, something that feels like a threat to his position. Old Kai looked at Gohan. He looked at the mark on Gohan's chest. He said him, the boy. He carries the mark of Zalamar. Zalamar is older than the destroyers. If Gohan flares that power right in Beerus' face, his instincts will wake him up. He will think a dragon god is attacking him. Gohan was hesitant. He said, are you sure? If I wake him up like that, he might attack me. He might destroy the planet. Old Kai said, it is a risk we have to take. Do it, boy, before the black lines reach his heart. Gohan nodded. He stood over Beerus. He took a deep breath. He closed his eyes. He stopped holding back. He unleashed the full power of the beast form mixed with the dragon mark. His hair grew long and silver. His eyes turned red. The golden aura erupted around him. The cave shook. The roots of the giant tree cracked. The pressure was immense. It was heavy. It felt like the sky was falling. Gohan let out a roar. He pushed his Kai directly at Beerus. The reaction was instant. Beerus' eyes snapped open. They were not tired. They were wide. They were furious. His pupils were slits. He felt a massive divine power looming over him. His instinct took over. He roared. He sat up. Purple energy exploded from his body. It blew the roof off the cave. It blew Goku and Vegeta out of the tunnel. Gohan stood his ground. He held up a shield. Beerus' destruction energy hit Gohan's shield. The two forces ground against each other, purple against gold. The sound was deafening. Beerus shouted, who dares disturb my slumber? Who dares challenge the destroyer? Beerus saw Gohan. He saw the golden mark. For a second, he didn't recognize him. He just saw a rival god. Beerus raised his hand. He shouted, Hakai. A ball of pure destruction flew at Gohan. Gohan knew he couldn't take a direct hit from a serious Beerus. He used the dragon miracle. He turned his shield into a mirror. The Hakai ball hit the mirror and bounced off. It flew up into the sky and exploded in space. The explosion destroyed a nearby moon. Beerus blinked. He shook his head. The fog of sleep was lifting. He looked at Gohan again. He sniffed the air. He said, Gohan, why are you glowing? And why is my bedroom destroyed? Gohan powered down instantly. He fell to his knees. He bowed. He said, Lord Beerus, please calm down. We had to wake you up. You were infected. Beerus looked down at his chest. The black lines were fading now that he was awake and his energy was flowing. But he felt the soreness. He looked at Shin, who was standing nervously in the corner. Beerus narrowed his eyes. He said, Shin, you got hurt again, didn't you? You weak little link. You almost got me killed. Shin bowed. He said, I am sorry, my lord. It was a trap. Kamba sent a clone. Gohan saved us. Beerus huffed. He stood up. He cracked his neck. He felt the lingering cold of the void energy in his veins. He was angry. He was very angry. He walked out of the ruined cave. He looked at the black grass. He looked at the destruction of his sacred world. His ears twitched. He said, Kamba, that oversized crystal rat. He dares to touch my planet. He dares to poison me in my sleep. Goku and Vegeta flew back down. They saw Beerus was awake. Goku waved. He said, You're Beerus. You're awake. You looked pretty scary for a second there. Vegeta bowed slightly. He respected the hierarchy. Beerus ignored them. He looked up at the sky. He looked toward the direction of the Grand Priest Palace. He said, Whis, where are you? A hologram appeared in the air. It was Whis. He was in the travel cube. He looked relieved. He said, Oh Lord Beerus, you are awake. That is wonderful news. I felt your energy spike. I was worried. Beerus said, Shut up and come pick us up. I am going to destroy Kamba myself. I am going to turn him into dust. Then I am going to turn the dust into nothing. Whis said, I am on my way, my lord. I have collected Broly. We will be there in 5 minutes. Gohan stood up. He walked over to Beerus. He said, Lord Beerus, we need a plan. Kamba is not just attacking. He is plotting. He distracted us so he could take you out. He knows that if you die, the angels stop working. He is trying to remove the pieces from the board. Beerus looked at Gohan. He looked at the mark on his chest. He didn't make a sarcastic comment. He didn't make a joke. He looked at Gohan with a new look, a look of acknowledgement. Beerus said, You have grown, boy. You smell like a dragon. But you are right. This is not a brawl. It is a war. And I am done sleeping through it. 5 minutes later, the travel cube arrived. It landed on the burnt grass. The door opened. Broly walked out. He looked around. He saw the damage. He looked confused. Chilai and Lemo stayed in the cube. They were too scared to come out in front of a god of destruction. Whis stepped out. He tapped his staff on the ground. A wave of magic washed over the area. The grass turned green again. The tree fixed itself. The cave was repaired. Whis said, Let us make this place tidy before we discuss the end of the world. Shall we? They all gathered in a circle. The Grand Priest's voice came through Whis' staff. The Grand Priest said, Lord Beerus, I am glad you are with us. The situation has escalated. But while you were fighting on Earth and Namek and the sacred world, Kamba made his true move. A map of the multiverse appeared in the air. It showed the 12 universes, but in the center of the map there was a darkness growing. It was spreading from the bottom up. The Grand Priest said, Kamba has activated the crystal seeds on hundreds of uninhabited planets. He is not just turning them into weapons. He is creating a network, a giant crystal web. Gohan looked at the map. He saw the lines connecting the planets. He realized something. He said it's a formation. He is building a giant array. What is he trying to catch? The Grand Priest said he is not trying to catch anything. He is trying to summon something. The web is a beacon. He is trying to pull the original void realm into our reality. He wants to merge the antimatter universe with our matter universe. If he succeeds, both will cancel each other out. Everything will become zero. Goku said zero? That sounds bad. Vegeta said it means total erasure, you idiot. Not even the Dragon Balls could fix that. Beerus clenched his fist. He said, so we have to break the web. We have to destroy the focal points. The Grand Priest said precisely. But Kamba is guarding the center of the web himself. He is located in the deep void. To reach him, you must break through his 3 generals. They are guarding the 3 main anchors of the web. The map zoomed in. It showed 3 planets. One was a planet of ice, one was a planet of fire, and one was a planet of storms. The Grand Priest said, "The ice planet is guarded by the Void Dragon. The fire planet is guarded by the Void Phoenix, and the storm planet is guarded by the Void Golem. You must split into 3 teams, destroy the Guardians, break the anchors. Then the path to Kamba will be open." Beerus stepped forward. He said, "I will take the fire planet. I am feeling cold. I want to burn something." Vegeta said, "I will go with you. I want to see a god of destruction work. Maybe I can learn something." Goku raised his hand. He said, "I want the storm planet. Storms are fun." Broly looked at Goku. He grunted. He pointed at Goku. He wanted to go with him. Goku smiled. He said, "Cool. Me and Broly on Team Storm." Gohan looked at the map. That left the ice planet, the Void Dragon. Gohan felt a strange pull toward it. His dragon mark was pulsing. He said, "I will take the ice planet." We said, "Excellent. I will take Gohan. Shin and Kibito will accompany Lord Beerus and Vegeta. Chili and Lemo will stay here where it is safe. We move out immediately. There is no time to rest. The web is 80% complete. Once it hits 100%, reality collapses." Beerus looked at his team. He looked at the heroes. He said, "Listen up, no holding back, no mercy. If you see crystal, break it. If you see void, burn it. Today we remind the multiverse why they fear the name Destroyer." They split up. Whis tapped his staff. 3 different colored lights enveloped the teams. They shot up into the sky. They separated. They flew toward the corners of the universe. Gohan watched the stars fly by inside the travel beam. He felt the cold creeping into his bones again. He was going to the ice planet. He knew that the Void Dragon would be strong, but he wasn't afraid. He touched the mark on his chest. He thought about his family on Earth. He thought about Piccolo. He thought about the trust Beerus had shown him. Gohan closed his eyes. He started to meditate. He needed to be ready. The beam landed. Gohan and Whis stepped out. The cold was instant. It was not normal cold. It was absolute zero. The air was frozen solid. There was no wind because the air molecules couldn't move. The ground was made of blue ice that was harder than steel. The sky was white. Snow was falling, but the snow was made of sharp crystal flakes. Gohan shivered. He flared his aura just to keep warm. Whis did not shiver. He had his angel ring active. Whis said, "Welcome to planet Glaciers. It used to be a water world. Now it is a tomb. The anchor is located at the North Pole." They flew across the frozen wasteland. Below them, they saw frozen oceans. They saw giant frozen waves that were stuck in time. They saw cities trapped under the ice. It was a dead world. As they got closer to the North Pole, they saw it. The anchor. It was a massive tower of purple crystal. It went up into the clouds, and wrapped around the tower was the Guardian, the Void Dragon. It was huge. It was bigger than Shenron. It was bigger than Porunga. Its scales were made of black ice. Its eyes were blue flames. It had wings that blocked out the sky. It was sleeping wrapped around the tower. But as Gohan approached, the dragon opened its eyes. It sensed the heat of a living being. It uncoiled from the tower. It let out a roar. The roar was not a sound. It was a wave of freezing air. The air hit Gohan. His aura flickered. Frost started to form on his clothes. Gohan stopped. He floated in the air. He looked at the beast. The dragon spoke. Its voice was like a glacier cracking. It said, "Warm blood, little spark. Why do you come to the land of the dead?" Gohan shouted, "I am here to break that tower. I am here to stop the void." The dragon laughed. It blew smoke from its nostrils. The smoke turned into ice spikes instantly. It said, "Countless heroes have tried. They are all statues now. Look down." Gohan looked down. On the ice below the tower, there were thousands of statues. Warriors from other universes, aliens, soldiers, all frozen in fear, all trapped in ice. The dragon said, "Join my collection." The dragon opened its mouth. A beam of blue ice energy shot out. It was fast. Gohan dodged to the right. The beam hit a mountain behind him. The mountain didn't explode. It just turned transparent. It turned into pure ice. Then it shattered into dust. Gohan gulped. If that beam hit him, it was over. He couldn't block it. He had to dodge. Gohan turned into his beast form. The silver hair erupted. The red lightning crackled. The heat of his energy melted the snow around him. Gohan shouted Masenko. He fired a yellow beam at the dragon. The beam hit the dragon's scales, but it didn't burn them. It slid off. The scales were too smooth. The dragon didn't even flinch. It swung its tail. The tail was a mile long. It slammed into Gohan. Bam! Gohan was knocked out of the sky. He crashed into the ice. He slid for miles. He stopped. He stood up. He was unhurt, but he was annoyed. He said, "Okay. Energy blasts slide off. Physical attacks might shatter on the spikes. How do I fight a dragon made of ice?" Whis floated down. He said, "Gohan, remember your training. What is the opposite of ice?" Gohan said, "Fire." Whis said, "No. Fire is just heat. Ice can quench fire. The opposite of ice is not heat. It is motion. Ice is stillness. It is atoms stopped. To break the ice, you must create vibration. You must create resonance." Gohan understood. He remembered the lesson with Kamba's armor. He had to find the frequency. But this dragon was huge. He needed a massive vibration. Gohan closed his eyes. He listened to the hum of the dragon's energy. He heard the low pitch of the void ice. He needed to create a counter pitch. Gohan started to hum. He let his Kai vibrate. He charged a Kamehameha, but he didn't fire it. He held it in his hands. He let the energy spin faster and faster. The ball of light grew loud. It started to scream. The dragon swooped down. It was going to eat Gohan. Gohan waited. He waited until the dragon's mouth was open. He waited until he could smell the frozen death breath. Then he shouted, "Now!" He thrust his hands forward, but he didn't fire a beam. He released the vibration. He released a shockwave of pure sound and kinetic energy. Kamehameha. The wave hit the dragon. It didn't push the dragon back. It went through the dragon. The dragon's scales started to shake. The black ice began to crack. The dragon roared in pain. It tried to fly away, but the vibration was inside it. It was shaking its molecules apart. The crack spread. The wings shattered. The tail fell off. The dragon crashed into the tower. The impact shook the tower. The crystal anchor started to crack too. Gohan didn't stop. He flew up. He gathered all his energy into his fist. He coated his fist in the dragon god's golden light. He shouted, "Dragon Fist." A golden dragon made of energy erupted from his fist. It wrapped around the void dragon. The golden dragon bit the ice dragon's neck. The heat and the force were too much. The void dragon exploded. It turned into a million shards of harmless ice. The explosion hit the tower. The crystal anchor shattered. The purple light faded. The connection was broken. The web was damaged. Gohan landed on the broken ice. He was panting. He looked at Whis. Whis clapped. He said, "Bravo. You used physics and power. A true destroyer." Gohan smiled. He said, "One down. 2 to go. I hope Dad and Vegeta are having fun." Meanwhile, on the fire planet, Beerus was having a lot of fun. The planet was a ball of lava. Volcanoes were erupting everywhere. The sky was red smoke. The guardian was the Void Phoenix. It was a bird made of purple fire. It It was flying around shooting lava bombs. Beerus was floating in the middle of a volcano. He was not sweating. He was bored. The phoenix screeched and dove at him. Beerus yawned. He backhanded the bird. The giant firebird slammed into a mountain. Beerus said, "Is that it? You call this fire? I use hotter fire to toast my bread." Vegeta was fighting the small minions. Little fire demons were crawling out of the lava. Vegeta was blasting them with Gallic guns. He shouted, "Die, you pests!" He looked at Beerus. He saw the god of destruction playing with the Guardian. Vegeta thought, he is on another level. He is not even trying. Beerus flew up to the tower. The anchor was made of red crystal. The phoenix tried to stop him. It gathered all the lava in the area. It created a tsunami of fire. It threw the wave at Beerus. Beerus raised one finger. A small purple ball of destruction energy appeared on his fingertip. He flicked it. The tiny ball hit the giant wave. The wave vanished, erased. The ball kept going. It hit the phoenix. The bird didn't explode. It just ceased to exist. Not a feather was left. The ball hit the tower. The tower crumbled into dust. Beerus dusted off his hands. He said, "Job done. Let's go get some pudding." Shin stared with his mouth open. He said, "Amazing. The power of a destroyer is truly terrifying." On the storm planet, things were a bit more chaotic. The planet was a giant hurricane. The wind was blowing at 500 miles per hour. Lightning was striking every second. The Guardian was the Void Golem. It was a giant made of storm clouds and rocks held together by lightning. It was punching the ground, creating earthquakes. Goku and Broly were fighting it together. Goku was in blue. Broly was in Super Saiyan. They were flying around the giant, dodging lightning bolts. Goku shouted, "This guy is huge, and he's made of wind. We can't hit him," Broly roared. He flew into the cloud body. He swung his fist. His fist went right through the cloud. The golem laughed. Thunder rumbled. It shocked Broly with lightning. Broly fell. Goku caught him. Goku said, "Broly, we have to blow him away. We need a big wind." Bigger than his. Broly understood. He started to charge his energy. He gathered green light in his mouth. Goku gathered blue light in his hands. They stood back to back. Then they spun around. They created a tornado of energy. Goku shouted, "Kamehameha." Broly shouted, "Eraser cannon." The beams twisted together. They created a vortex. The vortex sucked in the storm clouds. It sucked in the golem. The golem tried to hold onto the ground, but the pull was too strong. The energy tornado ripped the golem apart. It scattered his clouds into space. The storm cleared. The sun came out. The crystal anchor tower fell over and broke. Goku gave Broly a thumbs up. Broly smiled. He gave a thumbs up back. Goku touched his earpiece. He said, "Hey Whis, we are done here. How about you?" Whis's voice came back. He said Gohan and Lord Beerus were successful as well. The web is broken. The ritual is stopped. The three teams met back at the palace. They were tired but victorious. The map showed the red web fading away. The Grand Priest nodded. He said, "Well done. You have bought us time, but you have also made Kamba very angry. You have destroyed his generals. Now he has no one left to hide behind. He is alone in the deep void, and he is waiting for you." Suddenly, the palace shook violently. A crack appeared in the sky above them. It wasn't a portal. It was a fracture in reality. A voice came through the crack. It was Kamba, but his voice was different. It was deeper, louder. It resonated in their bones. Kamba said, "You broke my toys. You broke my web. You are annoying little insects. If I cannot merge the universes, then I will just come up there and eat them one by one." The crack widened. A giant hand reached through. It was a crystal hand, but it was the size of a planet. It grabbed the edge of the hole in reality. It pulled. The sky ripped open like paper. Kamba pulled himself out of the deep void. He was colossal. He was bigger than the palace. He was a giant made of purple diamond. He floated in the space between universes. He looked down at the tiny warriors on the palace platform. He smiled. His teeth were jagged mountains. He said, "Hello, godlings. Are you ready for the end?" The Grand Priest stepped forward. He raised his staff. He said, "This is it. The final battle. He is here. Everyone prepare yourselves. Angels, to me." The 12 angels appeared. Whis, Vados, Korn, Mojito, all of them. They formed a line in front of the Grand Priest. The destroyers stood behind them, and the mortal warriors stood in the front. Gohan looked up at the giant Kamba. He felt the fear, but he also felt the excitement. This was the ultimate test. He flared his aura, silver and gold. He looked at Goku. Goku was smiling. He was already in Ultra Instinct Omen. Vegeta was in Royal Blue. Broly was legendary Super Saiyan. Jiren flared his red heat. Hit took his stance. Gohan said, "Let's do this. Together." Stay tuned for the next episode. The Battle of the Giants, Angels versus Kamba, Gohan's ultimate sacrifice. There will be more episodes.